So back in 1914, when the First World War started, who would have thought that it would end up killing millions of people across the world? Although like any other war, the purpose was the same, gaining more power, influence and resources by the end of it. But practically speaking, no one gained anything concrete as an outcome. Then the Second World War started. In 1939, this time again, millions died. But as an outcome, two major things happened. Creation of United Nations Organization, as we call it UNO, to make sure such wars don't happen again, as this takes a huge toll on lives and livelihoods of people. The other remarkable thing that happened was the creation of Little Boy, the thing that destroyed Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Oppenheimer's invention isn't just the most powerful weapon in the human history. It is till date acts as the means of deterrence. So ideally, after these two things, we wouldn't have to see the Third World War. But these two seems to fail now. We are more closer to the Third World War than we can imagine. So the question is World War III on the horizon? It's a question that haunts the global consciousness. While it's impossible to predict the future with absolute certainty, we can examine the factors that can contribute to the outbreak of such a conflict and explore the pathways to peace. So let's begin by examining some of the key factors that could lead to World War III. Number 1. Political instability. The world today faces numerous political challenges, from the rise of populism to the decline of democracy and increasing societal polarization. These challenges could breed instability and conflict, potentially spiraling into a global war. Number 2. Economic rivalry. In an increasingly competitive global economy, economic tensions can escalate. Trade disputes like the one between United States and China have the potential to transform into military conflicts. Number 3. Proliferation of weapons of mass destruction. The proliferation of weapons of mass destruction, such as nuclear and chemical weapons, poses an ever-present threat to global security. The use of these weapons in a conflict could result in catastrophic consequences. Now there are a few countries that we can talk about which can lead the way to the World War III. The first on the list would be the United States. The United States is the world's most powerful military power, and it is involved in conflicts in many parts of the world. A conflict between United States and another major power, such as China or Russia, could quickly escalate into a global war. Number 2. China. China is world's second largest economy and military power. It is also involved in territorial disputes with several countries, including India, Japan, and Vietnam. A conflict between China and one of these countries could draw in another major powers, such as United States and Russia. Russia is a major military power with a nuclear arsenal. It is also involved in conflicts in Ukraine and Syria. A conflict between Russia and a NATO member state could trigger a global war. Number 4. North Korea. North Korea is a nuclear-armed state that has a history of threatening its neighbors. A conflict between North Korea and South Korea could draw in the United States and China, which are allies of the respective countries. Number 5. Iran. Iran is a regional power with a nuclear program. It is also involved in conflicts in Syria and Yemen. A conflict between Iran and the United States, Israel, or Saudi Arabia could escalate into a global war. However, amid these risks, there remains a glimmer of hope. Diplomacy, cooperation, and a steadfast commitment to peace are our best defense against global catastrophe. Now, there are things that we can do to prevent World War III. Number 1. Promote diplomacy and dialogue. Diplomacy and dialogue are the cornerstones of conflict resolution. World leaders must be willing to engage in constructive conversations and collaborative problem solving. Number 2. Strengthen international institutions. International organizations like the United Nations play a vital role in promoting peace and security. Strengthening these institutions enhances their capacity to prevent and resolve conflicts. Number 3. Reduce weapons proliferation. A critical step is the reduction of weapons of mass destruction. Treaties, inspections, and other measures can help curb their proliferation and mitigate the risk they pose. And lastly, I would like to talk about that we need to promote education and understanding. Education and mutual understanding are fundamental to peace. Fostering a global culture of empathy and appreciation for diverse perspectives is key to resolving conflicts peacefully. It's essential to remember that World War III is not inevitability. By collectively working toward common goals and prioritizing peace, we can shape a more harmonious world for future generations. Thank you for joining us for this episode. We hope this exploration of the possibilities and pathways to the peace has shed light on the importance of diplomacy and cooperation in the ever-changing world. So these are the reasons that we are thinking about a World War III situation. Thank you.